Well, this is going to be an exciting time for property in 2020. The market was always on the way up in the last quarter of 2019. We had a temporary pause with the coronavirus pandemic, and with no surprise, the federal and state governments are going to be using real estate and the construction industry to stimulate the economy back. So, what are you going to do about it? They're going to be offering $20,000 to $40,000, whether you're a homeowner or an investor. We're going to know more details probably this week or in the coming few weeks, but they're going to be giving out grants for you to buy a property, either for yourself or as an investor. And that's brand new property. And why brand new property? Because it promotes the construction industry. Recently, only about 2 months ago, when the coronavirus sort of kicked in, I was advising my clients, and I did a YouTube video when I advised on I would pick brand new property over an existing home, because the brand new property market represents a business and a construction industry, as opposed to an existing property which is already owned by an individual or a company in some cases. And that's exactly why the federal governments are stimulating the economy by providing these grants for brand new homes or brand new apartments and so on and so forth, which will have more details. So I trust you do something about it. They're also talking about a stamp duty waiver, and that may happen soon too, which means, in the last few months, we've been assisting a DDP Property, some clients that may only have $10,000 to $20,000 to get them into their first home. And that's because of the state government grants, because of the 5% deposit loans by the federal government, and also the DDP Property cashback up to $30,000. So we've been helping clients already buy their own home with probably averaging $10,000. But now this is going to even open up the investor market, which means you probably can buy an investment property with the grant of $20,000 to $40,000, which we'll know in the next few weeks. So I trust you do something about this. This is a very unique time. Soon, by the next generation, real estate in Australia is not going to be any different to whether it be like London, Paris, New York, Hong Kong, Shanghai, where it's just going to be completely unaffordable. We talk about property being unaffordable in Australia or Sydney example, but it is still affordable with all these grants in place, with the interest rates historically low, in which in many examples it's actually cheaper for you to own your own home than to rent. As per my recent video that I did some month ago, where I showed the calculations of why it's cheaper to actually own than rent. So 2020 is actually being a unique opportunity if you make that decision to buy a piece of real estate, whether it be for yourself, your family, or even as an investor, so you're giving a tenant a place to stay. 2020 is a very unique opportunity. Interest rates, government grants, possible stamp duty waivers, DDP cashbacks, and you're owning real estate. And we know time and after again, if you do your research on Google on history, after every pandemic, yes, there may be a small dip that speculators talk, 10% drop, 20%, 30%, they're all speculating. But history always can tell us about the future, and we can learn from the past. After every pandemic is a strong growth period. And the only way you're going to experience that growth is if you get into the market. So when anyone asks me, when should you have bought real estate? Yesterday.